Welcome to the Nerds Watch. I'm Bricknell,
I'm Coddy.
And I'm Liam.
and this is podcasting. So today we're going to be talking about the prequel trilogy and just what we think about each one leading up to the start of the Empire. Also, we're recording on camera today.
I know, first time
First
time in our new studio.
Yes. State of the art.
State of the art bricks and wood.
Nice. Right, so let's start right at the beginning. Where it all
Phantom
started.
Menace.
Not where it all started, but chronologically where it all started.
Yeah. So I mean, let's go straight into like literally the opening. Who can remember the opening scene?
Oh, it's Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and at the meeting on it.
Yeah. So it jump straight into side profile of them looking out of a window.
Yeah,
They just got to a meeting.
So every Star Wars film that I can think of has started off with the stars.
Yeah. I think they do. Yeah, all of them do. I think, don't they? Probably not Last Jedi. They probably changed
not.
it. But
We'll get to that on the next episode. Wait, no, 2 episodes.
2 episodes away.
Away.
Yeah, I mean,
Third episode.
That's a duo in itself. Like, one that for us was like probably in our like childhood was the duo.
Most iconic. Dude.
Yeah, because I can't remember if I'd seen the originals when I first watched that because I watched it on release. I can't remember if I'd seen them or not. But for us, like Qui-Gon and Obi were like
besties.
For you two, is the Phantom Menace your earliest Star Wars memories?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jar Jar Binks,
that is for
like
me as
because
well.
I remember having
Pod
like little
racing.
Jar Jar Binks teddy because like there's so much like with the Phantom Menace there's like so much because that was our Star Wars where there's so much like stuff around it for like the fans of the originals who didn't like it and they didn't like Jar Jar, didn't like this. But for me, when I first watched it, I loved Jar Jar and I loved everything.
Oh no, yeah. I loved Jar Jar when
Yeah.
I was younger. I had the toothbrush holder where
I
he
thought
held it with his tongue.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say the lollipop.
Oh, that
Nah,
is
not
terrifying.
the lollipop. That's like whoever in marketing come up with that. Like, let's make a lollipop. Whereas Jar Jar Binks his head
He just
and the lollipop's his tongue.
You need to check his hard drive.
And kids are gonna suck on that. Like, no, man, no, that's some of the weird.
Nah.
That's the weirdest merchandising I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, not
Glad
good.
I never got exposed to that one when I was younger.
I didn't actually remember it when we were younger, but I just seen so many videos online of people selling them still.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how they've still got them. Like someone just kept them in their attic.
One bit of merchandise I am sad that I missed is that the droid, the battle droid, like tank, beer cooler.
Oh, I did.
That
I've never
would be
seen
beer
that.
cooler.
Yeah, I keep seeing it online. It's like you know where they have the battle at Naboo at the end, and all the droids come out in rows,
Oh yeah.
and it deploys them.
Yeah.
It's that, but each droid is a beer can.
Ah, what? Say what?
Yeah.
We are so professional now. We can pull this up and actually look at it on
Yeah,
the
why
screen.
not? Let's get
And
it.
it will
That's it
also-
there, bottom right.
And it will also appear on
yeah.
the video right now.
That looks like an Easter egg.
That does.
It looks like I
It
want
does
to
a
eat
bit.
that
It
chocolate.
does look like chocolate, but yeah, when you open up the front, that's it. And they're all like toppers for beer cans, and you just put them on top.
like this.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
Oh, no.
way.
No, technically Pepsi cans.
Gotta
I
get me
guess.
one of those.
That's sick.
But yeah, it's awesome. I wish I had one.
I bet they're well.
They are
expensive now.
going for a stupid money.
$1 million. Yeah, that is cool.
I used to have I don't know what it was. I think it was a Star. It wasn't Warhammer, but it was like Star Wars figures, and you'd paint them.
Oh really?
Yeah, I used to have a
I do that now.
Yeah, yeah, we do that now.
nerds. Yeah, I used to have one for a battleship, and that was best thing in the world.
Yeah.
And one of those, what's that called again?
Well, the Naboo Starfire.
Naboo Starfighter.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, I used to play with mine. I used to have that. Yeah, I remember the tail was really like flimsy,
Yeah.
like wobbly.
I still have a toy of the Naboo Starfighter. It's on my shelf in my room, and it's like that is just this tiny thing, and it has got a rubber tail.
Yeah,
like what you said. And there's a little R2D2 head in it. You can push it down and pop it back up, like with this button. It's only literally like that big. But
Yeah. No,
That's
I definitely remember having one of
pretty
them. I mean, I mean, Star Wars. I mean, it's Disney now, but then it wasn't Disney, and they still. I think I am right in saying that they've made more from the toys than they ever made from all the movies.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's a fact. But
That's why they keep changing everything.
yeah.
For
They bring out-
example, like I don't know, like the Purge Troopers in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah,
Purge
yeah.
Troopers existed in like the Force Unleashed games. They had a specific look. Brought him into Obi-Wan Kenobi. You could still recognise them, but they changed the helmet. It's all merchandising.
toys.
So people go buy different stuff.
There's actually an interesting documentary on Netflix about there's a toy.
And toys at Mazes.
Yeah, and I think they do a section on Star Wars. I think.
Yeah,
Which is pretty cool.
yeah, some cool episodes on that. They got
Yeah.
like Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff as well.
Yeah, it's good. But yeah, come back to Phantom Menace. I think like so that would have been, except from like holiday specials. Obviously, that would have been the first time people saw Star Wars again in like 20 years.
That sounds right to me. I don't know exactly, but like the gap was that was a long gap.
Yeah. So obviously,
Whole new generation.
was it
to
like
introduce Star Wars?
was it 7? Is it 70?
The best generation.
77 when the first one came out, something around there, and then
Yeah, I think it was.
yeah, and then so yeah, it would have been around. So, and then like 2000 was when, or 99 or 2000 was when.
1977.
Yeah, so 1977, and then Phantom Menace came out in like 2000 or 99, something like that.
I think it was 99.
99. I think it came out the same same time as Lord of the Rings, wasn't it?
Yes, similar. I mean, we grew up with the best two franchises.
Not mate, 3 Harry Potter.
Well, yeah,
Harry Potter.
yeah.
Well, that was
I mean, they're
our
like
era.
the biggest and best franchises around.
Oh yeah,
and
we got so lucky with our childhood.
yeah,
Like we had some of the best TV and
1999.
movies,
99.
and yeah, like that was just sick time really.
Yeah, it is
As well,
pretty-
like we were around just before the internet came, so we still had all like
yeah.
that classic type of childhood that doesn't seem to exist anymore.
And like it was pretty different because we would watch a film, say at cinemas, and then we would go home or go around our friends and act that film out. And we all had it in our imagination. We couldn't just go, oh, let me just watch that clip again and go, oh, YouTube, oh, that clip's good. All are just in our head.
My
Yeah.
favourite thing was when they'd bring a game out and they'd bring a video game out. Sorry,
Yeah,
they'd
yeah.
bring a movie out
no,
and they'd
yeah.
bring the video game
Yeah,
of the movie out.
Our
I used
game
to-
was like 90% of the time absolute dog shit.
yeah.
brilliant.
There were some really good games of like Bounty Hunter.
Bounty Hunter was good.
Yeah,
that was
that's
a sick game.
sick.
I
And
remember
but I
that.
remember playing. I'm not sure if it was Phantom Menace, but I remember playing a game that had because it had Gungans in it, and I'm sure there was a game out.
That must have
What,
been
the Phantom-
Yeah, I'm
Menace.
sure there was a
Yeah,
Phantom
yeah,
game.
yeah.
There was,
Yeah.
wasn't there? Yeah. I remember playing that. And in your head, there's always like really sick
So good.
graphics.
Yeah.
And you can see all the characters that like look like they do in the movie, and then you actually watching it. What the fuck was that? Just,
Yeah.
like square. Probably Jar Jar probably had like 2 square eyes on the top of his head. Yeah.
Can you remember the pod racing game?
Oh, that was
Just
sick.
the
That
pure
was-
pod
Yeah,
racing
that was
game.
so
Oh,
good. I used to love that
mate,
game. That's another game where in my head that looks real, but
Yeah.
they're probably just like
Yeah.
2 squares at the front, 1 square at the back. Yeah.
Should we
cool. I actually think we've watched a video of it before, and I remember thinking, "What the fuck is that?"
Let's get it up now.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
How bad
Well, that must have been
graphics look.
PS1 though. Must have
Yeah.
been PS1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, mate.
And now this is pod racing. My God.
God,
Oh.
To be fair, that's not as bad
That's
as I thought
not
it was gonna
actually
be.
that bad, to be fair.
Nah, it's not really, is it?
I mean, I'll play. You can play that one down like the seafront where you play on the arcade, and that's pretty much that. Isn't it? You sit in it on a. I think they had one in Norwich. You could like sit in a pod race and thing and just be like,
I've seen the one where you got like
Yeah.
there's a lightsaber on it and you can.
yeah, I've seen that one. But there's
seen that one,
there's
but
one
I've
where you
seen the
sit
pod
in a little pod race, a pod, and you put like.
I didn't know that.
Oh, have you never seen that?
Nah, mate. This is just bringing back. So
Wait,
much
could you play it on the Switch?
nostalgia. I know. I just saw that. What the?
I got a Switch.
Oh, mate.
So they remastered it.
I don't know why they don't remaster it, or make a proper new game of it.
That sounds like it might.
Oh no, yeah, it is. It's even the title. Remaster released.
Oh, nice. Well, there you go then.
Mate, I'm getting that.
4K? Mine's at 4K now. Oh my god.
See, those pixels.
My eyes. Yeah, amazing. There's some
What a game.
crazy like stuff like to remember back in the day. as
Did
well.
you ever play the Harry Potter movie games?
No, but I've seen.
Oh,
I've,
mate,
I've,
they were
I've just seen a
brilliant.
picture of Hagrid.
Yeah, I
The
do.
PS1 Hagrid.
I do remember playing all them. Yeah, they were good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean they I can't remember like I remember having a lot of Star Wars toys when I was growing up, but like I can't. It's really weird because I can't remember. I can remember watching it for the first time at the cinema, and I can remember the hype around it. Like, I remember thinking, what? How? Like, even though we were like 4 when they came out.
I don't remember going to the cinema for the first two. I remember watching them at home, but I very vividly remember going to the cinema for episode 3.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do. I remember because it was Sam's birthday,
Yeah.
and it was I either go see the cinema or I go to Sam's birthday. I went to the cinema. Fuck you, Sam.
I do remember going to the cinema to see the first one, but
First one.
yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, I do.
What?
Yeah, I definitely do. Because I remember someone dressing up. I remember seeing a statue or I remember seeing something of Darth Maul, whether it was like a picture or something. So I remember that. I can vividly remember Darth Maul.
What boy?
Yeah.
He's a good villain. Isn't
Yeah,
he?
100%. I mean, Darth Maul.
he's the best part of. Well, him and Qui-Gon are the best parts
Yeah.
of like that
Yeah.
Phantom Menace for me.
I mean, when you see Duel of the Fates for me is probably I mean, for me, I'd say Duel of the Fates is probably my favorite scene, favorite lightsaber duel of
Yeah.
all time. Yeah.
It's an amazing scene. And, like,
Just to two, because that's the only time we see 2 Jedi fight a Sith Lord, but that is not like that they lose. Basically, they pretty much lose
they
up until
did,
like they really get like Count Dooku does beat oh no, did the stream lose?
just turn off.
It just moved it. We'll just not use that for now.
Technical
So much for high
difficulties.
tech.
Yeah,
State of the art.
that's the internet here. It's not
Definitely
good.
a state.
But yeah, you see that later on. You see some cool duels with Dooku and Anakin and Obi, but because that's like the first duel we see when they had a shift from original series where they used it was like more samurai, like bang bang bang,
Yeah.
then moving on to like quick moving, high paced like lightsaber duels was.
I mean, when you watch Return of the Jedi with the last fight they had between Vader and Luke, and compare that to Duel of the Fates, like what a jump is that?
How
Like,
mad
how
would that have been?
different is that?
Yeah, to be a fan to have watched.
the originals.
mate.
The
But that-
6 when it came out, and then to watch that.
That's why I'm like, how did that
blow
get?
your mind?
How did
Yeah.
that get backlash? Like, how did anyone watch that back
I
then
know.
and think, "Oh, this is rubbish"? The only thing I can think, the only thing I can sort of say that that's probably true, is that Anakin was a bit of a like if you've got Darth Vader in your head and then you see Anakin as a kid, you're probably like, "Oh, that's not Darth Vader." But then
What did they want? Like some kid with an emo haircut, like just like being
just singing like
edgy.
emo songs, like
just choking other kids out. Like,
Did they know it was Annie?
yeah,
back then?
I'm pretty sure the advertising for it was a picture of young Anakin,
and Darth
and
Vader's-
then his shadow was Darth Vader.
yeah, and
I don't know if that's a fan poster. Because I've seen that.
It might have been, but
like a really good one.
but
I thought it was a secret.
I don't know because Anakin, they knew his name was Anakin.
yeah, like
Did they?
they always said that. I'm pretty sure that we knew he was called Anakin.
Oh,
I don't think we did. I don't think they did.
Well, no, yeah, I think they did because so Ben Kenobi says your father Anakin was killed by
Well, even if we didn't know he was called Anakin, we know he was Skywalker. So
I guess yeah.
and I'm sure Ben says to he says your father was killed. Your father Anakin was killed by a Jedi named Darth Vader or something
Jedi
like,
called
something like
Darth
that.
Vader or something.
Yeah,
like that,
something like that because he makes it out like because it was Darth Vader who consumed Anakin. Yeah, I think that's I'm pretty sure we knew. I'm pretty sure people went into that knowing that small child was Darth Vader. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the only thing I could probably say. Like, I could maybe if you're watching it for the first time and 20 years ago you watched these other Star Wars and you think this villain was like the most evil villain ever, and then you see him, and then you see sort of whiny, grown up to be a bit of whiny sort of Hayden Christensen style. But for me, that was Darth Vader.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, I it's one of them ones where I don't agree with it, but I can see what they're saying. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here.
But I mean, when the Duel of the Fates, going back to that, the fighting in that, and when you watch like the behind the scenes in that, like they're actually doing it. It's not just a CGI mashup, and it's not a slow motion. It's like proper, like they're caning each other. I think they said they were going through like something crazy, like 10 lightsabers a day or something. Start when they were filming, they were just snapping lightsabers constantly because they were not that you can snap a lightsaber, but yeah, it was immense, and still like it's a shame that the screen's gone down because it'd be interesting to watch it now and just react to it. But yeah. Very good.
That's a 16. Like for me, like overall, Phantom Menace ranks pretty low on my Star Wars movies.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So uncivilized.
But Duel of the Fates, I can't fault it. That's amazing.
And just the music, like just the just watching them like when they first scored it, and he's like talking about, and he's like, oh, I think we need an operatic part in this.
This is when the operatic section comes in.
When they put it together, you're like, how is he? Like, he is definitely a massive part of Star Wars success, because the score to that movie is like all the movies are incredible.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. He done Jurassic Park as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he's done loads. Like, did he do Indiana Jones as well?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. A lot of good stuff. But yeah, that is
good
amazing.
TV.
Yeah.
He made the soundtrack to all our childhoods.
Yeah. But he that like Phantom Menace for me, I think it's up. It's like when you talk about like best Star Wars and like putting it up there and ranking. Like, I think for me, it's like it's up there just because. I don't know. It's just because it means so much, because just the first one I remember watching. So that's probably like if you look at it, like there's some really good aspects to it. But if you look at it and think, oh, is it the best one? Yeah, probably not. But it's got some really cool scenes that when you watch it, you're like, oh my god, straight back on the chart.
There's so many cool aspects to that movie.
Like when you first watch them put the rebreather on when they go underwater. Like I just remember thinking, I want one of those.
Yeah, that's good. And just Darth Maul as well. Like, what a cool villain. And then the reveal of the double-bladed lightsaber.
Oh, so cool. When he first does that, he just like puts it down and then brings it up. Crazy.
Chills.
Yeah. And then, but then when you actually think about it, though, when you watch that, and if someone, when you finish watching that and you see Darth Maul get cut in half, if someone told you there and then, yeah, he's not dead, you'd be like, nah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty definitive death, isn't it? Like, I mean, there's been stuff recently about like, I think Dave Filoni, he's been pretty vocal that like Plo Koon is his favourite Jedi,
right? Yeah,
and he was speaking to George about it, and he was said, "What if we bring Plo Koon back?" And George was like, "Nah," and he's like, "But Plo Koon, who maybe could have survived an in-orbit crash in a Jedi Starfighter.
Yeah.
But then you got Darth Maul, who was cut in half. Who do you think would more likely survive?
Yeah, you can't say like, nah. I think it's a pretty definitive death. It's like, well, nah. Literally anyone in Star Wars can survive anything if he can survive that.
Princess Leia.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. How the hell did he survive that? But then
vacuum of space, sponged it.
Yeah. But then you got all these things that people survive, but then Padme, she just lost the will to live.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, Phantom Menace. I don't know if I was gonna rate it, like, where would I rate it on the scale of like all the? Probably it's got to be like maybe there's so many now. It's probably like 6th, I'd say.
What, out of the 3 trilogies?
Oh, out of the 3 trilogies, I'd probably the least out of the 3 trilogies. Yeah, it's probably the bottom out of the 3 trilogies.
So what?
Sorry, out of the 3 in that trilogy. Sorry, out of the 3 in that trilogy, that's probably the bottom.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say out of the 9 movies, like.
Out of the 9 movies, I'd probably like 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about. Yeah, I'd put it at 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6th.
5th.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 5th or 6th. I don't know. It's so hard because there's so many aspects that I like, but then it's hard to put them against the originals because they're completely different. It's like batata.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. Apples and oranges actually would be the thing you'd say. Yeah.
Well, should we move on to Attack of the Clones?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
I mean, that for me, I don't know what it is about a middle movie in a trilogy, but for me, most of the time, the middle movie is the best.
Yeah.
Like-
Is that your favourite of the three?
I don't know. I don't know because for me, for a long time, it was, and because I always takes me back to like Lord of the Rings for some reason. Middle movie is my favorite,
Last one's my favorite.
but then like when you got like the Attack the Clones, just to see that number of Jedi fighting together is just incredible.
is cool.
Yeah.
And like in the smoke, you just see loads. Like, because if we ever see that again, you know that for a fact that you're just gonna be like, oh,
Oh yeah.
oh my god, yeah, it's crazy. Like,
Yeah. Really, that's the only time we've got to see that.
yeah, I don't
Isn't
think. Hopefully,
On such a large
there's
scale.
going to be a time where we see it in stuff that's coming, but not to that scale. Probably, I wouldn't have
I
thought.
think if we see anything like that again, it's probably going to be in the Acolyte.
Yeah, and there'll be maybe like 5 or 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 Jedi together, but I don't think there's going to be like the scale of Clone Wars.
But that the arena scene in that's obviously the standout scene, isn't it? In that movie, probably alongside the Count Dooku fight, but that.
But you've also got
Just-
in there like the Geonosis stuff.
The droid factory and everything.
Yeah. So and then you've got
Django,
Django and
Camino.
Yeah, you got all the Camino stuff. So there's loads in there, which is really cool. Like for me, like the birth of the clones is like.
Yeah,
So-
I remember being in year 1 at school,
Yeah.
and there was a poster for Attack of the Clones on the classroom wall, and it was just a picture of that was Django at the front and all the clones behind him.
That's cool.
And
Cool.
I didn't think I'd even watched Star Wars by that point, but I remember looking at that and just being like, "Wow, that looks really cool."
Yeah, like
Like-
I mean, the fight between Obi-Wan and Django on Camino is so cool. Like when he's like using, he just like swings back on the.
Back live in the studio. Sorry, we had more technical difficulties there, but we're continuing back where we were. We were just talking about
Camino.
Camino and Django, and
Yeah, it's our first time
Wow, so
recording on like doing multiple things instead of just audio. So bear with us.
It's our first time.
So we were saying about Camino. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean that if you want to go like, should we dive into that a bit, because there's always been something that I've never really understood, and as who is, and I'm not sure if there's maybe a bit of debate about it, but who is Master Cypher DS? I think you must know this.
I only know it from the Bounty Hunter game, and Cypher DS was like he was a Jedi, and I think like Count Dooku and Palpatine killed him, and then they used his his name as an alias to make the order.
There's a little bit of that in
for the clones.
Tales of the Jedi, isn't there?
There may be,
That touches on that just a little bit, and that's when Count Dooku, because you find it, he goes and deletes the evidence.
He does. You're right.
Yeah.
Because in Tales of the Jedi, they actually shows you Dooku deleting the files for Camino in the library.
Ah, right, okay.
Well, that's actually part of the episode.
So I mean, why? So who put the order in?
Dooku
and
the Emperor.
the Emperor.
The Emperor would have told Dooku to do it.
Yeah.
In Tales of the Jedi, you see them
Right.
working together
Right.
at the same, like in episode 2. I
Yeah,
guess it
'cause
is,
It
isn't
had been before
It
episode
was
2.
it was always sort
because
of,
Qui-Gon's still alive at this point.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
it's sort of
Actually, no, he just died.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
had the funeral.
Yeah, and that's why Dooku's so like depressed and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
because it's pretty obvious when in the movie that it must be something to do with the Emperor, but or like at the time Darth Sidious, but it's never really confirmed like properly like how that came about. But yeah, that's pretty interesting.
When I was younger, this movie confused the fuck out of me. I didn't have a clue what was going on. And to be honest with you, it was only a couple of years ago where I actually watched it again and proper like,
What confused you?
like the
Yeah, the
Cypher
Cypher DS
DS
thing,
thing,
I
and the
remember
clones,
those.
and like
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, where did they come from? And yeah, that confused me a lot when I was younger.
Yeah. I mean, it would do. Like, there's
I mean, Star Wars is not confusing anyway. I mean, like when you're trying to explain it to someone who had like when my missus tries to like work out, like if I try to explain that to her, she's like, well, who's that then? Or like even like something really simple, like there were some pictures of us with some R2 units or like Astro droids and R2s, R4s, whatever. And she's like, oh, it's R2D2. I was like, no, it's not. She's like, well, looks
actually,
she's like, it looks like R2D2. I was like, well, yes, that is an R2 model of an Astro droid. She's like, why is it this deep?
the blue and white one. That's R2D2.
Yeah. And but she's like, that's crazy. How can it be this confusing? She's like, this is why I can't get it, because there's just so much. You have to know so much about it.
So much.
Yeah, I was like, you don't have to know that much about it to just enjoy it, but like, that's what makes it. I think that's what brings people in, because there's so much to it. There's a whole universe. It's not that you're just watching like one little like planet with one country. You know, this universe of stuff.
And what back to like confusion on episode 2. I think one thing that always confused me was like, so you got this guy who's a template for all the other clones, yeah. But for some reason, he's not on the same side as all the clones that he's agreed to make.
Yeah,
Oh,
like-
Yeah. I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? I was thinking, I was like, well, if he's like the main guy for the clones, I'm like, then why isn't he on the same side as them? And I was like, what? Like, why is it? That's confusing to me.
And I got confused with the clones and stormtroopers a lot when I was
I think back in the day, a lot of people did, because
Yeah.
it wasn't so clear cut. Like, people used to think, oh, so were stormtroopers all clones? And like, it's only really recently where
was
it's been,
Bad
where it's
Batch,
proper
yeah.
expanded.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
like that they've explained it all.
I mean, I'm guessing if you were watching it as someone who'd watched all the originals at the time, if you were an older person watching it, you probably would have sussed out. I mean, I don't know. You probably should have sussed out, if you're a good fan, who Darth Sidious was. Really, I mean, so they would have sussed that out, and then maybe thought, oh, that's who the clones are. They were going to be. They were transformate. They were sort of early thing of a stormtrooper in a way, sort of. But yeah, that was really only really explained in Bad Batch, really, of how they, because you sort of think that, oh, the Empire must take them on, and then eventually when they die they get replaced by them, but it weren't. It's not like that. It was quicker than that, because you've always got the thing that always gets me with Star Wars is you think it's such a big amount of time, but it's really not. Like Anakin, child, and then by the end of it he's just like probably 60. So it's like
when he dies at the very end. Yeah.
That's all their movies happen in such a sort of, like the First Order and the Empire and the Pre-Empire. That's all in a really short period of time. So you know, these
that could all
clones
take place over one lifetime, couldn't it?
Yeah. So these clones aren't. I mean, yeah, they are accelerated growth, and they're old by the time sort of A New Hope happens. They're older, like old Rex and stuff, but they're not like so old that they all died. So yeah, they were just slowly amalgamated out, which was never expanded to until Bad Batch.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool though to see that. Like that's what really makes watching the animated series worth it, because you really get to like dive into things that they don't explain.
Oh mate, it's sick.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really, really enjoy it. I think Bad Batch is up there with my favourite.
Yeah.
And Tales of the Jedi, even though it is the short stories, oh my god,
Tales of the Jedi
that was
just had
brilliant.
some really amazing episodes.
Yeah.
Like, and they add so much to the story as well. Just like you were saying, the Count, especially the Count Dooku episodes, like add so much to his character.
Yeah, I loved seeing him and Qui-Gon, like way back in the day. Like the furthest back we've gone at the minute.
Yeah.
And the village, that was fucking sick. And it just
that was really good.
strangled that
And like,
guy.
just seeing his gradual turn to the dark side as well. Like, I think he's got like 3 episodes in that series, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Like one at each point in his life.
Yeah.
Major turning points. And it's so interesting to see, because like when Count Dooku's introduced, he's straight away a bad guy, and you just think, oh, he's a bad guy. They said he's a Jedi, but like you didn't really see that. Seeing him as a Jedi, and then like seeing these things that annoyed him, and it almost mirrors Anakin's story in a way.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, that is good. But I mean, going back to episode 2, a really cool scene for me was the little sort of gladiator arena scene,
Mm.
you were sort of where all the beasts come out.
Oh yeah,
right.
that was
Yeah,
cool.
so cool. Yeah, so cool. And then that's I think that's because that's
the
the,
Acklay used to scare the shit out of me.
Oh
That's
yeah,
part of
with
the
the
thing.
noise.
oh yeah. Because that's the first time.
Actually used to scare me.
That's the first time we sort of see where Leia gets her sort of fieriness from her mother, or like where both of them can get there. Like because Padme actually uses, like, she's actually in combat rather than just being this like princess who's just like, you know.
Yeah, she wouldn't push her.
She's the
would she?
bad bitch.
Yeah, I mean that's what you know. Star Wars massively have pushed like feminine like good strong feminine characters
Yeah,
like that,
absolutely.
rather than just like the man saves the damsel in distress. Like Star Wars really brought strong female characters into cinema. Probably one of the first to do it, I'd say.
Yeah, which makes me laugh when people say like that Rey is the first like strong female character in
There's
Star
loads,
Wars.
yeah.
Like, first, that's a load of shite.
Yeah, I mean
But she's
Leia
not.
Leia is massively a strong character.
Yeah,
And like if you dive into the backstory of Leia, she trains as with Luke as a Jedi, doesn't she?
yeah.
Trains to be a Jedi.
I mean, but yeah, both Leia and Padme are just like crazy strong women.
Yeah.
Like, they're awesome.
I mean, Leia can withhold the outer space, like stop herself from imploding.
We don't talk about that.
She's so strong. Yeah, but yeah, it's that's the scene when she climbs on top of that big post and that wolf thing, whatever that is called. Do you know what that's called?
Not off the
Come
top of my
on.
head.
I know we just always look
let
at Bruno and go, "What do you know this?"
Sorry about that. I remember the Acklay.
Yeah,
to be
to be
fair.
fair, that's
Fucking
good. Yeah.
I know the other one as well. It's a Bronto, but I don't remember. I don't remember
is
the.
the Bronto? Is
the
that the same thing that is on?
You're gonna say it, and I'm gonna get really annoyed because I'm gonna be like, "Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue."
Is that the same creature that's on Mando's armor? The
No,
Bronto.
that's a Mudhorn.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, say it. That's familiar. Yeah, that is. Do we get to see Commander Cody? We only see him in Revenge, don't we? We don't see him.
Nexu, that's the one.
Nexu.
Yeah, third one down.
Yeah, we don't see Commander Cody in Attack the Clones, do we?
No, you do see a commander, but that it's not confirmed if it's him or not. Like,
Yeah. Is he an orange?
no, so it's orangish yellow. Like,
Right. Yeah.
it's hard to tell because like the early Phase 1 clones didn't. The only coloured markings they had were for rank. So
Yeah.
you had the grunts, which were just white. Then sergeants were blue. Wait, no, sorry. Sergeants were green. Lieutenants were blue. Command, and then then it was red. Then it was yellow.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the ranks for them.
And then in
But then,
Revenge
like
they have
later on,
battalions,
they get their own battalions, and that that evolves in its own thing.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean that is like even like watching that, like that's the scene where like all the clones are land and they're all like rushing off, and like you remember as a kid just getting a little clip that you put on the paper and it looks like one of them ships upside down.
no, I know
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
what you
Yeah,
mean.
even
the gunship.
yeah, I even
My God.
I was like, oh, what the hell? It's a ghost.
There was a ghost.
I even remember getting one of them when I was a kid and just be like,
Yeah, I've definitely done that.
yeah.
They still do it.
Yeah, I remember. I think I've even put in the group chat, like, just put a picture of one of them and go, "What is this?" Yeah, but like, yeah, like them, and I remember the first Battlefield coming out, or Battlefront, sorry, or Battlefront, sorry, yeah, the first Battlefront coming out, and then being able to use that one of the balls as a gun, like being in a gunner, like, oh, that was so cool.
But
Like,
even the new Battlefront hadn't lived up to that. Like,
no.
Like the original Battlefront 2 was such a good game.
I've been playing
I
that on
remember playing as
PSP.
Mace Windu and running across the battlefield with like the force sprint.
Yeah.
You just-
I mean, like the Jedi's were like literally like you could just run it, everyone's dead. Like they were so good. But yeah, no, that still never got as good as that. Because how did you used to unlock? I used to remember trying to think about this. You couldn't. It was just randomly selected if you got a Jedi, weren't it? Then you just randomly.
No. I think you had to build up battle points, and that's how. I think it was same
Is
as
it
they've
the
done
same?
in the new Battlefront, where you fight, you earn points, and then you buy better units, and then like the Jedi was like the best one.
Wow, right, yeah. Because I remember playing that so much on my PSP, like being on holiday and just being like under a towel playing that.
Or even with that, I remember discovering new things about it all the time. Like I'd be like, "Oh, there's a new map here. I didn't even know that was
Yeah.
on there." And then I'd go on it, and I'd be like, "I can play as people like Kit Fisto and stuff like that."
Yeah, that
And I
was so
just
cool.
like, such niche characters, and all just like all got their own powers. So, like, you don't get that in games these days. I mean,
No.
if you do, like, it's got to be a massive thing where they take months to develop it and whatever, and they release it in an update and whatever. But like, this is back in the day where games came with everything straight out of the box. Like,
just put a
you
disc
didn't
in.
get
Disc
updates,
in.
and they just had
Yeah.
everything. You could play that for days.
Yeah, you didn't have to download a game. It was just on that. It was just in.
Good old days.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like going to like, I mean, well, we probably go back a little bit in that movie to even the scene. For some reason, it's just always stuck in my head, and I can hear the noise of it now when they're going through the conveyor belt. It's going ching ching
Yeah,
ching
yeah.
ching ching
Yeah,
ching.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a sick scene as well. And then he loses like Anakin loses his lightsaber, doesn't he? Gets it like chopped in half. Yeah, and he's like, oh, not again. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool.
Oh, we forgot the first bit with the bounty hunter.
Oh yeah, that's a cool
And
scene. Yeah.
and they're racing on Coruscant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And mate, that was
Yeah, that is
that used to creep me out.
What, the bugs?
And when the bounty hunter got shot,
Oh,
and
face
oh, yeah,
he
turn.
he
turned into that used to freak me out.
For some reason,
I think
right?
he is a she.
Yeah.
I think she is a changeling. I remember watching that, and for some reason, I don't know why, and I always remember, but it used to really confuse me. Her face used to really confuse me. I don't know why.
I was very confused.
Yeah, I
that,
remember-
that also confused me.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking confused,
Yeah,
mate.
I remember her face just changed. I'd be like, I just couldn't get my head around
Yeah.
it. Like, what?
Yeah.
I suppose it's just your brain as a kid not really understanding. Like, you can't understand things that aren't real sometimes, maybe. So,
I didn't even realise it was bloody Django that shot her.
Yeah, I don't think I did. I probably and then it's so weird when you rewatch stuff when you watch it as a kid and you're like, oh, how do I not understand that?
Like Lord of the Rings, I didn't have a clue what was going on with that whole fucking movie.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that is because then you get like the famous you want to buy some death sticks? Like there's so many good parts of that because I feel like that sort of got. I mean, we'll get onto them in a lot of episodes later, but that's aspects that got lost is that little comedic, like having enough, like the right amount of comedic stuff in Star Wars is really I suppose hard to get right. But there've been movies that they've done too much of it, and there's been movies that they've not done enough of it.
Yeah.
And but I don't think that really in the prequels that there's any time where I go, oh, there's not enough. They knew when to be funny and it knew when to be not funny.
The only thing for me, I think it was in episode 1 where the animal farts in Jar Jar Binks or something like that.
Oh, mate, like that kind of humour. I'm just like, oh,
Which one?
really?
Which bit's that?
It's like when they do the pod racing bit,
Oh yeah, and it goes
and it looks at
and it goes like
Yeah.
there's something. Yeah. I know what you mean.
I don't know what. Do you know what it's called? It's the
I don't know.
Star
The
Wars
The
Encyclopedia.
trunk. The thing with
Yeah,
the
it's
little
like a
trunk.
camel.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Is
what
it a camel looking thing?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's like half camel, half
As well, like big anteater, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got
That
really
that always
fat
like.
butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't like that bit. I remember watching that and being like, that was just weird.
Just George Lucas just sitting there going, "Yes, we must have this."
Oh. I mean, but then you meet Dex. That's like, with
He's
the cool character.
Camino and Dart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who?
When he shows him the dart, he goes, "Do you know where this
The
is from?"
guy who runs
He
the like.
Oh, the
Yeah.
big fucking.
the way-
No,
He
yeah.
goes, "Depends how big
Yeah.
your pocketbook is."
Like, when he said that, I always thought, is he a bad guy? Because like he says it really menacingly.
yeah.
And then he like laughs, and I think, is he gonna try and kill him? And like this is what I was.
Because I always think
just give me the wrong
like,
vibes.
that whenever you watch anything, whether Star Wars or anything that's not set in Earth or set in Earth times or real life or whatever, I always think it's funny when people use phrases that are real phrases in like because I always think like if you say like a duck, for example, or an animal, like there's certain things you can't say, and I just thought like they must have sat there one day and thought, oh, we can't say wallet, we can't say purse. Pocketbook, yeah, that makes sense. How big your pocketbook is, because they have credits, so then they must have a little pouch for them.
Yeah. What's that other thing that I'm hearing a lot in the newer TV series? And they're like, well, if that isn't the back to call the stifling slime.
Oh,
or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that. I've
that's-
heard it like 3 times.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I love that. Yeah, when they make a saying what makes sense in their universe, but and you sort of you know what they're saying, even though you have no idea what they're really talking about.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you know what they mean, but
Yeah.
like who knows what those things are?
Yeah. So it's like basically the
I said Bacta. It's definitely not that. That's something else.
yeah,
but like,
it's basically the popcorn, the kettle black, but
exactly.
in their phrase, yeah, which is cool. But yeah, there is that. Whenever it's so there's so many little scenes in the prequels that just have a certain like ring in your head that when you hear them, you like just takes you straight back to when you were watching them as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I've recently like watching them again with my son for the first time, and like you're sitting there watching like certain bits, and you're like, oh my god, I forgot about that bit. I thought, not well, to be fair, that probably never happens, but but you know, because I suppose we probably live in the last time where we would repeatedly watch the same films. I feel like that doesn't happen anymore, or maybe it's just because you're older you don't do it. But I remember just put it on every day. Just put it on again. Just put it on again. Because you had a video player. You just put the video in. You didn't have Netflix to scroll for you. And, what can I watch? I've got like 4 DVDs here, or 4 videos. So I'll put this. I had a TV like this big, and it was like about that fat. And I had a video in the bottom of it. Did you ever have that one?
I remember having a collection of VHS videos like in my cupboard.
Yeah.
And I had like Spider-Man 1 and 2 in there.
Yeah.
I had like Star Wars. I had Thomas the Tank. I had like a good
Debbie Does Dallas.
A good variation.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Yeah. All sorts in there. But you just rewatch the same things.
Yeah.
You think, I haven't watched that in a while. Stick that on for a bit.
Yeah, but yeah, you could just rewatch stuff, and then that was one of the things you just rewatch 100 times, and and then watching it again, you're like, wow, I can't believe it's crazy how you like nowadays. I just don't feel like you could do that with any movies. There's not a lot of movies you can
it's
just
not very
rewatch.
often you rewatch the same movie
No,
again, is it?
no.
Yeah, any new movies, no.
And I think that's what they do well, because a lot of movies, how they make them good is because they make the ending good, or they grip you through the whole story, then go, bam, look at this. Where Star Wars does do that, but like, when like a lot of people say, well, there's no point in watching this because this character's not going to die, this character's not going to die. Well, that's what Star Wars does different. You don't watch Star Wars in the same way as you watch Game of Thrones, because you're like, oh, I wonder what happens to this character. I wonder what happens to this character. I wonder if he dies. That's not why you watch it. You just watch it because it's nice on the eyes to watch. Yeah. It feels good to watch it. It makes you feel good. Like it's just good. Where like you're not watching it because you know that certain main characters aren't going to die. You know they're going to live, but that's not why you watch it. And that's how I think that's why you're able to watch it repeatedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. What was what's next in the? Oh yeah, we went back. We went to the beginning of that, and then
I think that's pretty much
Right,
everything.
that is pretty
the
much
only
it in
thing
that
is the
movie.
love scene, rolling around in the hills.
oh yeah, so it's
Yeah, I
Padme.
think this is where a lot of people started complaining with Anakin
yeah.
and like how he come across awkward. We hadn't talked about the Sand People. Was this episode 2? How was episode 2?
His
The
mum
Sand
dies.
People.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the woman, and the children too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
That bit confused me as well.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, "Who's this guy with no legs?" And then I remember seeing, because Anakin's mum doesn't look anything like she does in the first one. I don't think when you watch it.
Nah, she does.
But I remember watching it.
She's just beaten up a lot.
I remember
Yeah.
watching it as a kid, though, thinking, "Who is
Oh
that?"
yeah, I guess as a kid.
As
you're
a
bit
kid,
like,
you're
"What?"
like, I'm not used to how do people look different when they're beaten up or not. So I remember thinking, like, what? Who is that then? Who is he? What, is his mum? What? And I just remember being really confused again.
Mate, this is the most confusing fucking movie.
As a kid, when you're watching it as a 6-year-old,
16-year-old.
I definitely remember thinking, like, who is this?
Yeah.
Like-
God, I forgot about that bit.
Oh, not Owen Lars. Who is the what's the dad? What's the guy with the no legs called?
Lieutenant Dan.
That's mental. I mean, he's on a little hovercraft, but surely he can have like
Hover legs.
new legs, new legs.
What about legs?
I mean,
need those.
I mean, there's like seems to be everyone's got bionic everything, but he's just too
They
poor.
didn't
I
have the
guess.
budget back then.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess moisture farming in the way.
yeah. No money in it.
Moisture.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I never even thought about that moisture farming. They literally just farming moisture. What?
Well, it's a desert planet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you're gonna farm anything, it's water
A bit of moisture.
and moisture.
We got some. Yeah, but I mean that. Yeah, we get to see. That's like the first time you see Anakin. I suppose his dark side of him
Yeah,
going to like turn, and I mean he's not. He's doing it for his own good reasons, but that's not the ways of the Jedi. Yeah. But then,
Leads us on. Well, I guess next one's Clone Wars, isn't it?
yeah, it would be Clone Wars next.
yeah.
Boy, do I love the Clone Wars.
I can't comment too much.
Yeah, I'm
only halfway through season 1.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I know. I'm pretty sure I know mostly like the story arcs of them because you sort of have to really dive into most of the Star Wars stuff. But I haven't seen them all.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the Clone Wars, because there's just so much of it,
Yeah, there's so much.
and like it introduces loads of really cool characters. And I think one of the things I love about the Clone Wars is, you see all them very proper background characters. So some of them get like entire episodes where they're like front and center, like the singer at Jabba's palace. The
She
with
gets a whole episode.
The one with the really long mouth and the little lips. Like she appears in an episode with a talking role.
What?
Like, and I can't remember what she does. In it. She's like a love interest for someone or something. I know it's weird, man.
Random.
And it gets weirder when you see who the love interest is. But like the other one,
Who is it?
that's not Jabba the Hutt, but it is another Hutt.
Oh, it's not the cousin, is it?
Yeah, it's the
I've
pink,
seen- I've seen
pink
the-
one.
I don't know. I've seen the movie. I've seen Clone Wars the movie,
Oh, that might be the same one. I don't know. I can't remember what
and
the name
the
is.
cousin
of it. It's
sounds like fucking Cartman out of South Park.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember sending you this
that-
video.
that is the one.
That is the one.
Yeah, yeah, that is
Fucking hell.
But
That's
yeah,
so
just
bad.
all these background characters. Getting time.
No, it's like,
No,
oh god, it's fucking terrible.
yeah.
Because there's two singers. There's two singers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got like two singers in that, and
Yeah,
what-
it's the feminine looking one, the one with the little,
the big
the
long
little
mouth.
frog lady with the long mouth.
Yeah. Because there's the dancer. Yeah. And then there's the.
Yeah, the hairy guy who's got a joint.
But
fleet or
I think
something.
was he added later, weren't he? He was.
Yeah, they both were. I think.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
well,
that whole scene was like.
Was it?
With,
Yeah.
with all with the song.
Yeah.
I think
that was all
they,
added
they
later.
should. They should. No, they didn't. I think they had a dancing lady because she obviously fell down the pit.
Yeah,
But
they had the dancers, but like
Yeah.
all the animated stuff.
Yeah, obviously all the
Like-
yeah.
And the song
Yeah.
that was added in after.
Because
Yeah.
we went to cinema to watch the Return of the Jedi, the
Oh, yeah,
40th one,
Oh,
when you were away in
Yeah.
Star Wars Land.
Yeah, Star Wars Land.
And yeah, fuck me, I forgot. That was so long. That song
scene,
bit went
that
on
wa-
for so long.
that looked so bad as well.
That gets to a point where you're sitting there like almost uncomfortable, isn't you? You're
Yeah.
like, oh, it's gone on too long now.
It's
Who
good
sat there and watched it and was like, you know what this scene needs?
It is a
Sexy dancing frogs.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, George.
I mean, there's some weird things that they've added into that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be the most edited movie ever. Like after release,
Probably.
there's so many
It's
things.
been out there for 40 years.
there's
and
about-
they
there's
keep updating it.
Yeah, there's
so-
like 4 different things. There's like I think originally it was Han shot first, and I mean we're going on to the wrong movies here, but like there's loads of different variations of
We'll
that.
go back to that later.
But
yeah, we're like Clone Wars. Well, I feel under pressure because I'm the only one who's watched it all. So I'll just skip straight to the last season because that's the one that matters really, and that's where everything blends into one. And that's like season 7 starts taking place at the same alongside episode 3,
Oh, okay.
and there's so many parallels. Like so you see where Ahsoka is during the events of episode 3, basically.
oh well,
And
yeah.
she's hearing about everything that's been going on in the movie. Like she gets a call that says Anakin's just killed Count Dooku and stuff like that, and she's like,
okay.
"Oh, so the war's over."
Ah.
He's like, "Now we need to find General Grievous," and like things like that. And you actually some scenes even cross over. Like there's a scene in episode 3 where there's like a hologram meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and you see like Mace Windu on it and all this, and that's in the movie. And you see Ahsoka in that meeting in the animated series, and she leaves just as the meeting in the movie takes place
Oh, okay. That's
yeah,
cool.
and stuff like that. So like, it is brilliant how they like blend it together,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it
that's
works so well.
That is on my. That is my next to watch
Yeah, like
after Rebels.
no, it's just awesome, man. You need just even if you just watch season 7, like it's sick. And they like, I'm jumping around a bit because I'm just getting new things coming to me. But like, there's some brilliant story arcs in Clone Wars as well. Like and they explore different genres with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think I really like the Umbara arc, which is basically all the clones get chucked on this planet, and I've shown you clips from it before.
I think I know what you're about to say. Yeah.
And they get chucked on this planet, and it's just an all-out war. Like they're just getting absolutely obliterated. It's like the first scene in Saving Private Ryan almost,
Yeah.
like where they just try to storm the beach. There's stuff like that, and there's a whole story arc about Ahsoka being framed for a terrorist attack.
Oh my God.
And that's like all kinds of things, man. Like so intriguing.
I know in episode 3, Anakin has a scar on his face, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He gets that during the Clone Wars, doesn't he? Doesn't he?
I don't actually remember where.
Because doesn't he fight against what's her name? Begins with a V.
Sergeant Ventress.
Ventress.
Yeah.
She's a pretty cool baddie from what
she's
I've
cool.
seen.
She might have given that to him. To be fair, that ring a bell, but like I can't remember off the top of my head where he gets that scar. But yeah, you got some cool villains as well. Asajj is cool. Like, and then I suppose you see a bit more of Grievous and all that. And all the Jedi Masters get more screen time as well. You get episodes with Plo Koon, Kit Fisto, Coyote Mundi. Like they're all getting a bit more screen time and personality.
I think the reason like I never watched it because it came out when we were like teenagers. Because I remember like being a Star Wars fan and seeing it and thinking, oh, that's like for kids, for like kids, like you know. And I remember being like a teenager, you know, at that time in your life where you're like, oh, I feel like I've got to be a bit cool now, but
yeah, no, I agree because I remember being at the same point.
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't until later in my life where I went back and watched it.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch it when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Because I thought the same thing as you.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like you get to a stage in your 20s where like you just like,
Fuck it.
I don't care about.
Yeah.
I just want to do
Fuck it.
be whatever I enjoy doing, whether people think I'm weird or not.
exactly. That's right.
Did you ever watch the 2D Clone Wars?
Yes.
Oh, that
I
was
watched that. I had that on DVD.
What with
Did
a
you?
massive Qui-Gon nose?
Yeah, that's sick. That's on Disney. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, man.
Have you seen the video of like when Qui-Gon turns around in Kenobi, but they've like edited? So it's like, yeah, that's funny.
I've seen loads of them edits where they just like Photoshop do that real life people
To look like that, yeah, they like
stretch.
stretch everything. Yeah, it's funny.
But that is
I mean, do we
on the list.
go on to arguably one of the best episodes in the franchise?
Let's go on to that. Episode 3, I think.
Where to begin?
Mm.
I think that's all our favourite, isn't it?
Hands down.
I mean, for so if you had like if you had to like pick certain things like for how it makes you feel this or for battle scenes, for story arcs, for everything, like if you really put all the different things that you can enjoy in a Star Wars together, it's going to be the best one. It's got I can't think of like there's a certain feeling that A New Hope gives you because you're like, wow, this is where like everything started, but when you watch that for me is probably that's probably when we were at an age where we could appreciate it the most, and the fighting in it is just crazy.
Yeah, I think it was a good age.
Yeah.
That we were all at when that came out.
Yeah.
I remember being so hyped about it. Like people at school used to get really annoyed because we'd be in PE and we'd be having a football game or whatever. I despise football, like not interested at all. And there was other people like that as well. All love Star Wars. I'd just be in the corner fucking going, and then you got all these like cool kids coming up going, "What are you doing? Play football! Stop playing Star Wars!"
Why would you just said, "What are you doing, boy? Get out of my swamp!" What are you doing? I mean, how old were we when that came out? Google.
Get it up.
Oh, they're still in middle school.
I
I
would
want to say like year
I want to say 2008.
5, 6.
So it's 2005.
What?
So we were 96. So we were 9.
I don't know what year in school that would be.
You're 10 when you got to high school. No, you're 12.
You're 12.
Yeah. So we'd have been in year like
5.
Hey, I was right.
Yeah.
Quick maths.
I don't remember. I can't remember I can't remember being at school and being like normally I can like put school memories to that, but I can't. But I remember coming out and I remember seeing it in the cinema. Definitely.
I remember seeing the poster for it, and it's got Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting each other. And I remember I was like, why are they fighting each other? When I was younger,
That's
I
a
was
bit
like,
of a spoiler to be
Yeah,
fair.
it is a bit of spoiler.
and I got the game, and like, cause I'm pretty sure the games always came out before the movies did.
Did they?
I'm pretty sure they did.
I remember playing the Lego game of it.
I'm
I'll
sure.
tell you what game I
it
remember.
did.
It's like
Let me have
there was like a Mortal Kombat style one where it's like, you know, you got two people on the screen, but it was lightsaber dueling,
Yeah.
and you could play as like all the characters from Revenge of the Sith, like Dooku, Grievous, like.
I can't remember
Well,
that.
that was a sick game. That was.
All I remember is on the Revenge of the Sith game is when you're flying towards that the separatist ship and you have to destroy the things on the right hand side to get the ray shields go down,
Yeah.
and then you can go in and
Won the
do a
Lego
shot.
game.
Yeah. I remember doing that.
Yeah, mate, look. Episode 3 came out the 2nd of April, 2005. And the movie came out May 15.
Huh.
So January, February, March, April. Yeah, I'm sure it did. So I remember, like, why?
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird choice, isn't it?
Because then I remember looking at the picture and thinking, why are they fighting each other?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is they earned more money from the movies than they did the games. So if they brought out a game first, that would get you hyped to watch the movie.
Build up hope, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe.
that must be that. They must be the thing.
Oh, mate, this game was fucking peak.
Oh yeah,
Well, to be fair, this was the game I think I was talking about, because like that image there is
This one?
is what I'm talking about, where you used to just battle each other.
I don't think that's the game. I think that's a different game. Oh, it is. No, it is a game.
Mate, what a game! Oh,
Yeah, and there's the
that's
character
it.
select screen.
Yeah. Oh, mate, did you ever watch the bonus scene of what happened if Anakin won?
Nah. Oh wait, on the game.
Yeah.
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 I don't remember what happened, but I just remember it being brutal.
Oh, mate, that's sick. Should we watch it?
Yeah, go on then.
Fucking man.
I can't. I can just remember like because that's like the era when you used to buy a game and actually be able to look at the back and see what you like. I remember just
I
going.
always remember reading
Yeah.
through the instruction
Oh.
booklet that came with it. Just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that. Like, used to have like intros to the characters and stuff like that. And, like,
Yeah, now like if you look at the back of a game, it's like I mean you don't buy games anymore, but
No. Did you ever used to buy a game and buy the strategy book with it?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
I used to do that
mate.
Tomb Raider all the time,
Oh, that was
I had that for
brilliant.
Gears of War and stuff like
and
that.
Red Dead Redemption I had before as well.
Oh, look at that.
The quality.
Pure potato.
A dog.
Duke. Is this
Black
sound?
Derek.
Is this sound?
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
You
Oh, the sound, probably not.
the power of the
Yeah.
dark side.
Oh.
Don't try it!
Well, that's where the high ground didn't work for Obi-Wan.
Oh,
Brutal.
You did.
Do these go on Sam's?
Fuck me.
It's actually probably better. Actually, the sounds that come through.
Yeah, and then we could just talk over it anyway, can't we?
Yeah, because
Look at that
otherwise it's gonna
graphics.
be hard.
At least it's got subtitles.
How did pod racing graphics look better than this? That came out in 1999.
And why have they got the orange troopers instead of the red ones there?
Yeah, or instead of the blue ones because they'd be Anakin if he's with
Well,
Anakin.
the red ones were Palpatine.
Yeah, it's Palpatine there.
Look at that.
Your new weapon.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Didn't see that one coming.
No, the galaxy belongs to me.
Fair play.
I'm sure there was more.
Well, thank you for listening to the episode and watching. We're going to bring this episode to a bit of an early finish just because we're still finding our feet with recording camera and audio at the same time, having some technical issues. So join us next time on our next episode where we're going to be talking about Bad Batch and finishing off our conversation on episode 3, I guess.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we will sort out there's some lighting issues and stuff, so what it looks like now probably won't look like that when we've finished, and in our next podcast.
Yeah, bear with us. As always, we're ever improving, trying to get a little bit better every time. So, thank you for listening, and goodbye.
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 Bye.